politics, how do you feel, because I know both parties are vying for all the votes right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the tactic that either party is using to try to reach the Hispanic community. I know that Donald Trump is not doing good in terms of that. But what do you think that Republicans would have to do to try to reach that part of the community?
Well, if I can, really for the longest time, the Hispanic vote, at least, I can't speak, I'm not knowledgeable in America as a whole, but in Florida, the Hispanic vote for the most part has been has been a Republican vote. But because of the shift happening, it's a gap that's being created between, higher class and lower class. And as that gap gets wider and wider, it's first of all getting rid of the middle class. And then second of all, it's to where the poverty line, there's no differentiator between the middle class and the poverty line. It's becoming all one group. So what's happening is that what you're seeing is really the true definition of a swing vote, because really, last time I saw the statistics is there's about, half and half. I mean, half of Hispanics are now Republicans and half are now Democrats. Because like I said, in those two categories, one group is looking for handouts, and one group is looking to get their tax cuts on their small businesses so they can keep employing more people and be able to create more jobs. So I would assume it's half and half, because half are liberals and half are Republicans.
Wow.
So for me, it really depends on what platform you're running on as a Republican even. I mean, there's some Republicans that are very liberal in their mindset. There's some Republicans that lean more conservative. But what I would say, it just depends on who you're trying to reach. Are you trying to get the vote of small business owners that are going to create more jobs? Or are you trying to get the vote of, folks that they want more done for them? What can you do for me?
Wow.
What can you do for, my pocketbook? Not what I can do for you, for America, for Florida. As the great President John F. Kennedy said, what can we do for this country? Don't ask what this country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. And I believe the reason, and really all it is it's a lack of knowledge. The Bible says that my people perish for a lack of knowledge. And I believe the only reason half of the votes thinks that way is because of a lack of knowledge on how things work.
Yeah.
And they have to realize that more jobs creates a better economy, and a better economy, it helps them. And so for me, I really feel as though, if you want to, it just depends who you're trying to reach.
Yes, I think, he said something so profound that I might dedicate a whole show just to that. More jobs create a better economy. The people that are looking for handouts from the Democratic Party don't understand that you can get a better job, you can have a better economy if we can create more small businesses.
Right.
If we can bring industrialization back to America instead of having all of our companies in China and in all these foreign countries where we don't get any of that revenue. So that's a great point that he brought up. Now I want to bring it into the church. I know most places I go, a lot of places, most Christians are like, well, politics, that's for the world. I'm a believer, I'm trusting.
They don't want to get their hands dirty.
In the government of God, and all these things.
Right.
But what role do you believe that the church has in politics?
Well, there's a fine line to be drawn, and I don't believe the church should be the government. I believe the government is instilled by God to govern the people for the people. We're not working for the government, they work for us.
Absolutely.
I believe in self-governance, that we, the people, can choose who we want to govern us. But that's being taken away. But as far as the church and politics, people gotta get busy. Because as soon as good men begin to do nothing, and it's been quoted hundreds of times, but when good men do nothing, the world goes out in darkness. I believe that with all my heart. I believe that the church, it's too messy, it's too chaotic. They want to be politically correct. They want to fill their buildings. Pastors want to fill their buildings. They want their buckets to be filled with the offerings, and they're not willing to talk about fragile issues because they don't want to offend anybody. They want to be politically correct, and they don't want to take a stand, and you have to take a stand.
Absolutely.
Don't just be half in, half out. Take a stand for what you believe is true. I'm not telling you what to believe, but you need to take a stand on what you believe is true.
Absolutely.
And if that means you're going to lose some of your congregation, then fine.
Absolutely.
They can go to another church down the block that says what their ears want to hear. But I believe the churches need to wake up. I believe the Bible says that we are the salt of the earth. And salt is a preservative. It's a preservant of meat and certain things. And I believe that without the salt of the earth, things go out in darkness. So where we are, I believe, is a direct result of the churches not being involved. The church is not raising up men to get into politics. The church is not even bothering to want to mess with it because it's too controversial. It's, we don't want to be involved. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They want to have a holy huddle, in my opinion. They want to sit around and have a holy huddle and just say, hey, let's just all gather and we'll pretend that everything on the outside world isn't happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of where I am with the church in our day and age that we live in, is they need to wake up.
Absolutely.
They need to wake up.
Absolutely. And one thing you said, we talked about a couple of times already, this is supposed to be a government for the people, of the people, by the people. And if the church, we are people, we live in this nation, if we don't make our voice known, if we don't raise up men and women of God and support them when they run for office, we are, like he said, allowing the salt, that preservative for the government to be taken out. And that is, I believe, a direct result of why we see so many laws being passed that are not beneficial morally, and then laws that are even financially, just the wisdom is not being, not take the beating down of small businesses and all these different things. We need men and women of God. And then we need church leaders that are not afraid to say that I support this, I'm against this, and to take a strong stand. Because being a leader doesn't mean you please everybody, it means you please God.
That's right.
All right, so I want to say to you, this is Jeremiah, and I want him to tell us a little bit. You're running for office this year. It's really exciting to see this young man full of passion and wisdom running for office. Share with the people what's going on with you with that.
Well, over the last few months, I really decided to make a difference, and I really decided I'm tired of talking about it. I want to make a difference. I want to do everything I can to pursue and serve the people. And for me, the best way I could serve the people, I'm running for state office, District 60 in Tampa, for House Representative. And I really believe that I can be a valuable voice to the people because, I would say, there's too many career politicians, if you will, that are out there. Too many politicians that are being bought at a price. But when you know who you are, you can't be bought.
That's right.
When you're not willing to compromise your standing, you can't be bought. No amount of money, because I realize that any amount of money is not fulfilling. I mean, it'll never be fulfilling.
Yes.
So for me, money is not going to entice me to swing my vote one way or the other.
Absolutely.
So, for me, I really felt as though I could be the most valuable, to where I could be a voice for many people that maybe don't have the time to get involved. They have families, they have jobs, they're working 60 hours a week. So let me pursue you, and I'll go put in the legwork for you. I'll go get the information, and I'll inform you, and I'll make it simple for you to understand. None of this political jargon to where you can't understand what they're talking about on C-SPAN. Let me go do the heavy lifting for you, and I'll pursue you and give you the rundown. So for me, that's really what my one of my main goals have been in running for this office, is to really pursue the people.
Absolutely.
And really inform them. Not just pursue them, but inform them. Walk the precincts. See how they live. See what goes on in their day-to-day lives. And share with them and talk with them and see how I can make a difference. And really pursue and see what would make a difference in their life. Because that's my job as a public servant. A servant waits. It goes to the people and says, what can I do for you? I'm not going to walk around in a convertible in a parade like, I'm too above society to go to you. You guys have to come to me. No, I'm coming to you. I want to hear your voice, and I want you to be represented in the state of Florida.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's my vision. That's my goal. Pursue the people and do a good job at it.
That's awesome. These are the kind of people we want in politics. And do you have any Facebook information, Twitter? How can people get in contact?
Twitter handle at Jeremiah L. Lajoie. That's Jeremiah Lajoie. Catch me on Twitter, Facebook. Just type in Jeremiah Lajoie on Facebook. You'll find me. Pretty much every kind of social media platform I have. Putting together a website right now for the campaign. Just getting everything rolling on the campaigns. So, you know, as that becomes available, I'll be more than happy to pass it along to your
Alright.
viewers, and they can find me there.
All right, guys, thank you for joining in. This was definitely great. It was informative, and we look forward to seeing a great future in politics for this young man. Stay tuned for our next video next Friday. God bless.
Thank you.